is going on, comic book familia? We are back with our top 5 advanced orders for December. If you don't know the guy next to me by now, well, shame on you. He's on YouTube, he's on Instagram, and he's starting to tackle TikTok. And like the Incredible Hulk, he is incredible. My man, Peter Triple G Comics. How's it going, Peter?
Very good. Who writes these intros for you, Efren?
I do.
Yeah.
I take my
Brilliant.
time. I go, which character am I going to talk about next that I can compare him to Peter?
I'm very well, Efren. Very well. Over the moon to be back on screen with you because
Yeah,
I always enjoy it when we do these.
yeah. These are our top 5 advanced orders for December. So they're coming out, I believe, December, January, February, March. They're coming out.
Yeah.
So we go through 5 books. It could be from any publisher, and then we do one book that we're looking forward to be reading. And this is a book that's coming out on the week of December 19th, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. So you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's get going. Okay. So like I said, these are orders. These are books you can order right now in December, and you're up first.
Yeah. So I have you read much Cosmic Ghost Rider?
I've read a little bit of them. Yes.
So he was in a series called Thanos a while ago, and he was absolutely amazing. So, I mean, it shouldn't be a spoiler for any of your watchers, but if you don't know who this character is, it's basically Frank Castle, the Punisher, millions of years in the future, and he's now the Ghost Rider, and he's just an amazing character. He's a fun mass murderer character. He's a fun character. He's got some great storylines in him, and this is a new series where basically he's retired as the Ghost Rider, and he's having a peaceful existence in the future. But then he starts being hunted by someone calling themselves the Cosmic Ghost Rider. So it's setting up a new arc. So yeah, just a fun series that I look forward to getting my teeth into, I think.
Yeah, it's a very unique character. I read some of his series when he went back in past and he was trying to kill baby Thanos, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
When you're just a baby, it's a completely different story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can't wait to read this one. Yeah, it's a very unique character. Yep, good choice. So my first one is Blood Tree #1 by Image Comics. It says 2 obsessed New York Police Department detectives hunt for a vicious butcher called the Angel Killer, a sociopath who preys on innocent family members of known murderers in order to purify the rest of society. God, so this is, I mean, you could look at the character right behind these 2 detectives. I'm like, man. So I'm really looking forward to reading this book. So hopefully it's a good story.
Never heard of that one. It looks really interesting. I'm loving the kind of the archangel thing behind them.
Yeah. So it's very unique looking covers. That's what grabs me when we first choose our top 5. If a cover grabs my attention, and then I read the storyline to see if I, put them on the list.
Yeah.
All right, you're up next.
Yeah. So I'm not a huge Moon Knight fan, but I'm a massive fan of Murder World.
Yeah.
And there was an Avengers version of this a while ago. Avengers Academy, I think it was called, and it was amazing. So this sounds very similar to that. It's Moon Knight basically on a version of Murder World, with Arcade trying to kill them all, I think. So it just sounds really interesting. So again, another #1 keen to get into.
Yeah. So I like Moon Knight too. But I hear you, man. His different personalities confuse the heck out of me sometimes. So that's I read him, and there was a series that came out about 2 years ago, and I was like, oh my God, this is so confusing. So I stopped reading it. But my next one is Philadelphia. It's like one of my favorite stories. It's by Image Comics. It's written by Rodney Barnes. It's just a continuation. If nobody has read Philadelphia, I highly recommend it. It has to do with presidents like George Washington, Adams, that have turned into vampires. And basically, they're trying to take over Philadelphia, the city. So it goes from there. It's a very good read.
I love Philadelphia, and I think Rodney Barnes' work is just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Love it. Yeah, so this is Clayface, Batman One Bad Day. I don't know if you've been reading these, Efren. These are kind of one-shots from the Batman villains. So I've read the Riddler one, which was excellent. I've got the Mr. Freeze one to read. They've done a Penguin, I think, and then this one's all about Clayface, who's one of my favorite characters. And I just love the cover. I think the cover looks amazing with Batman there in the front. So yeah, really looking forward to this. And I quite like one-shot format. I like it where you've got like a self-contained story. So I think this one will be interesting.
Yeah, I know a little bit about Clayface. I don't think he's really like a villain. He's
Yeah,
just, if I remember the character right, he's an actor, I believe, that
that's right.
somehow, I'm not sure his history, it turned into Clayface, and it just goes from there. But that's a good choice. Yeah, I have been reading the One Bad Days by, I've read the Riddler, and I think that's the only one I've read so far. But it's a good storyline, and it's just one issue, so
That's
which
right.
is really good. So my next one is Local Man. It's by Tim Seeley and Tony Fleece, who did Stray Dogs. That's why I chose this one, basically. This is also by Image. It says, once the star recruit of the media sensation super team third gen, Jack Xavier had it all. But when controversy sends Crossjack crawling back to his mom and dad's basement in the Midwest, Jack struggles to fit into a world he left far behind. And then the bodies start piling up. No idea where the storyline is going to go.
Yeah.
But like I said, it just piqued my interest mostly because of Tony Fleece.
Yeah. I've not heard of this one either, so this one's got me interested. I love Tony Fleece. Absolutely loved Stray Dogs.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll be interested to see what this is like. Be interested to see if he can capture the same level of excitement as Stray Dogs.
Yeah, I know. All right, you're up next.
Yeah, this one's really got us excited. This is Blue Book by James Tynion, based on true stories. So it's an anthology series. You know, I like my anthologies.
Mm-hmm.
But this is basically stories written by Tynion, based on true facts. So alien abductions, Sasquatches, all those kinds of stuff. I guess a bit like Department of Truth, but based on true accounts, if you can call them true accounts. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that kind of thing. It reminds us a bit of the X-Files.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I think James Tynion has to be like one of the top writers of the last 5 years.
Yeah.
He just keeps on coming out with hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, he does nothing wrong, really, does he?
Yep, great choice. So my next one is, if I'm pronouncing it right, Harrower. This is by Boom Studios. There's nothing to fear in the quaint town of Harrow, New York, except that is for the harrower. I guess it's some kind of creature that, I don't know much about it, but you see him like with his mouth open and there's like a woman inside of him in his mouth. So that's what grabbed my attention for this one. And like I said, this one's coming. This is by Boom Studios. So we'll see if it's a good issue. Yeah.
Yeah. The cover has got us straight away. I like that.
Yeah. You notice most of our books that we've been picking have to do with mystery or horror, something different,
Yeah.
Which is good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You're up next. Here we go. Talking about different. These are like
Speaking of horror, so I'm a massive Masters of the Universe. I'm saying I'm a massive Masters of the Universe fan. I'm of an age where I've got lots of nostalgia for cartoons and toy lines that I used to play with when I was a kid. So I'm quite invested in He-Man, although I've not read much of his stuff. This strikes us because this is a bit like, the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
It's that kind of a book. It's all about different versions of He-Man. And, you see on the cover there 2 different cartoon versions from the Netflix series and the 2 top characters and things. So I like the idea of exploring different iterations of the same character.
Yep.
Again, this is an anthology kind of series. Each book's got a couple of different stories in it, following different versions of He-Man. So yeah, interesting to see that and see what different people's takes on them are.
Now that you mention it, Into the Spider-Verse, I really liked it because it showed different iterations of Spider-Man. And this one, I've never read any Masters of the Universe books, but this is, now that you mentioned, this has piqued my curiosity. I may pick up this book. That's pretty cool. I like that. So my last book, this series took me completely by surprise. I just read it on a whim and I'm hooked on it. It's Batman, Superman, World's Finest. This issue is by writer Mark Waid. And it shows another Batman and Superman team up, but it's in the past and it has nothing to do with continuity, the way the DC universe is now. and it's just really, really good read. Like I said, it took me completely by surprise. I really
Yeah.
am enjoying this series, so that's why I picked this last one.
Looks interesting. And again, I'm a big fan of Mark Waid's work. I really enjoy his writing style. So yeah, I'll probably go for that as well.
So the next ones are the books we're looking to read on the week of December 19th.
Yeah.
And you're up.
Yeah, so this one's really got me hooked. This is The Boogeyman by Ablaze. I've recently read issues 1 to 3 for a UK channel called the Killer Comic Show. So I reviewed issues 1 to 3 with the guys on that show. This is an amazing series, everyone. If you haven't read it, this is really, really good. It's a take on boogeymen, but it kind of goes into the lore of them and how they become the boogeymen and the different creatures that are around them. And it's all about basically this particular boogeyman you've got on the cover there saves this little kid from some other boogeymen killing him. And it's about how he's trying to protect him. It's just a really engaging story, and I've loved issues 1 to 3, so I'll definitely be picking up that.
I gotta read it now. Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks very interesting. Yeah, I was wondering about that little boy. It looks like he's kind of scared, but
Yeah.
So mine again is Batman Superman World's Finest. Like I said, this series I really enjoyed reading it. And this is issue number 10. This is Joker's Wild. I just like the way this cover looks, and he's got some of the superheroes on his card. You see Batman, Superman, Robin, Wonder Girl, Speedy. And I'm not sure who this character is with the A right next to his face right here. I'm not sure who the character is, But
in the purple top.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
Yeah, you see Kid Flash on the upper right-hand side, but I'm not sure
Yeah.
who that character is, so I'm curious to read this one. It's a really good series, I really recommend it.
Yeah.
But
Looks
these were our top 5 books that we enjoy reading. So once again, my name is Efren, Passpoint Comics, and you are
Peter from Triple J Comics.
We'll be back in a month showing you our next top 5, and we have other things always planned up too. And Peter's doing a show this Monday, correct?
Yeah. Live show on Monday.
Live show. I always love your live shows, man. You never know what's going to happen. You can swear and you can't. But until next time, everybody be safe and take care. Bye.
Bye now.